Sling those weeds out of there now. Do it like I showed you. Not two-handed. Well, you had it. Now you're... Whee! We're doing a little bit of clearing out of some of the weeds manually with the sling. Yeah, boy. That's a risk killer, all right. So what are we planning for this hill here? Probably can't even tell it's a hill because it's all grown over with weeds. We talked, I guess, last season about possibly making a kind of like an aged wood chip raised bed here for maybe a single tree. So maybe we should start working on it. Start seeing the kind of the little dirt mound here, at least on one side of it. And you see all these creeping daisies, bidens, looks like some dewberries and a lot of Virginia creeper vines here. Of course the handle broke, so now we're dead in the water. Anyway, I guess we have to go up on the second raised garden bed, at least until we find another way. We could wait for like a hard freeze to come and knock out all of those weeds. Actually, our weed eater spool, our last one, broke the other day when we were clearing out some weeds, so we don't even have a weed eater. So anyway, we are definitely planning season 2, and when we say season 2 of our gardening, we're not talking about that we've only been gardening or doing various experiments and stuff for 2 seasons. We're talking kind of like it's season 2 of like the gardening vlog, season 2 of our gardening projects, where we talk about them online. You know, it's just another planting season. You know, winter and spring, and we usually just take a break during the summer. So we're really thinking about what are we going to do for like the wetland zone 1 project. Are we going to do too much else with the xeriscaping zone, or you know, what else and where else are we going to do, you know, things like planting our fig trees that we're going to get soon and all that good stuff. On one of our videos, we titled it "It's Not a Phase, It's Just That Time of the Year Again," and that covers it. You know, when you're majorly into gardening, experimenting with fruiting plants, or even, you know, flowering plants, or whatever hobby plant, you know, permaculture, whatever you're into, you're going to be, if you're addicted like us, you're going to be into it each season, each year, potentially multiple times a year. And yeah, that is definitely something that I've been into for many years. Definitely Wetland Zone 1, the permaculture project, took quite a bit of our, you know, season last season, you know, because that was our biggest project last season, and it could still be, you know, a major project for this upcoming season. But we're also you know, we're evolving the way we think about, you know, the projects, each area. And what I'm thinking with it is kind of letting it be how it wants to be, but just letting us shape it how we also want it to be, if that makes any sense. So there are like tons and tons of mulberry seedlings that have sprouted out over there, and a lot of them we might just use as grafting stock, or we might just prune them down low and then see how the fruit is. You know, we have a male Pakistan or Himalayan male mulberry that pollinates all of the mulberries. You know, it gets pollination. So it's basically the female mulberries are being bred by a cultivar that at least has some superior genetics. You know what I'm saying? And there's no guarantee that each and every or any of them will be as good as, you know, some of the name cultivars out there. But you know, the more you have, the more genetic diversity, and the more the likelihood of you having something good, bigger, better, sweeter, more tart, whatever. You know, something that's going to be something that you know, someone eventually would like to have in their collection, because it's not really about being self-sufficient, because we're not relying on our gardens and gardening as a sole source of food. And we'll probably talk a lot about that in later episodes. There are so many like missed opportunities every year to collect like beauty berries and to utilize Biden's alba, you know, to anywhere near the full extent of what they could be. Or elderberries, you know, we haven't really used elderberries in a medicinal or culinary fashion in over a year, and even the ones we did like a year or two back, they we still didn't fully utilize, you know, everything. And there are probably like a lot of citrus, same thing, you know, there's just things, and it's, the reason why is because we're not so poor that we have to rely on just what we grow. I mean, we buy most of our food, and I've noticed this with some other permaculture people that have permaculture gardens. They say, you know, well, I have all these edibles and medicinal plants and things I can use for spices and all this stuff, but I hardly use any of them because I don't need to. But if that day comes, I'll have them. So it's not always thinking that there's going to be an apocalypse, you know, and that you're going to have to rely on what you have available. So anyway, we have a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to discuss, a lot of projects to work on, and you know, we need time to evaluate what's available from the various nursery, you know, plant stock providers, and yeah, hopefully we don't spend as much money this coming season, as we kind of did last season. We need to utilize a lot of what we have to repopulate and make more, you know. One of the things is the avocados, and we need to make sure that we can keep them, alive throughout the winter freezes and stuff, and you know, then we can get the seedlings and maybe try to graft and stuff, and you know, like I said, repopulate. And not just with avocados, but a little bit of everything. Avocados are a perfect thing that if we can, you know, high fat content, high oil, flavorful, I mean, just a little bit of salt like you can see in this video here, it makes them taste wonderful. And you could probably live off avocados, you know, for, you know, however long the season is. Although I'm not sure, I'm not a doctor. But there are a lot of things, muscadines and, You know, also things that we haven't planted there but that still grow there, like blackberries, dewberries. You know, and a lot of people hate dewberries, but and we really need to get into learning better techniques for growing annual crops. You know, whether it be greens, you know, okra, corn, whatever, and squash. You know, and it looks like we're hopefully are going to have some good luck with our pumpkin. You know, our Susan shelf pumpkin, whatever you want to call it. These pumpkins go from tiny to big really fast. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to fully mature, but yeah, this is definitely a learning experience. And we got a cat messing with our video. Anyways, I'm guessing this video is long, and we're just gonna cut it out here. Have a good day.